This is A8. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please watch the videos all the way through. Thank you for stopping by. Let's get into the video. This video is going to be about the 5 best Harbor Freight oil changing tools. The first thing I want to start off with is these 3-ton steel jacks from Harbor Freight, made by Pittsburgh. Safety has to be in mind at all times when you're working under a car. Sometimes the jack you have may not be sturdy enough to keep the vehicle up, especially the time it takes to drain oil. Some jacks lose their pressure, and you just don't want to take a chance somebody walking past and bumping the vehicle or whatever. So a good set of jack stands will hold the vehicle secure, and you can still have the jack under the vehicle for rapid deployment. But I recommend that if you've worked under cars enough, you know you need a good pair of jack stands. So I recommend these jack stands as one of those items that is good for DIY oil changes. This is one of those tools I recommend from Harbor Freight. Now the next item I recommend is this waste oil storage container. I prefer these over these traditional oil pans with the spout, because once you drain the oil into these, then you can seal these up and not have that mess. Like if you've ever tried to pour the oil out of one of these oil spouts back into one of these oil pans with the little spout on the edge, if you tried to pour these back into even with a funnel into an empty oil container, you know how messy it will get. And I'd say can get. It seems like no matter how many times you do an oil change, it's very difficult to pour from one of these traditional oil pans into another container. So having one that is able to be closed up and sealed up after everything drains into it, and then at the top you have a spout where you can just pour it easily from here, like you're pouring it out of a oil can or oil container into another empty container. This is it's a time saver because it saves you on the mess and the cleanup. So that's product number 2 from Harbor Freight that I recommend for oil changes. The next product that I recommend from Harbor Freight is this locking oil filter wrench, made by Pittsburgh. It's basically a dedicated oil filter wrench, and it's made like vice grips to where it locks on to the oil filter, and it allows you to spin it, especially those that if you've done a lot of oil changes, you notice that sometimes the oil filter seems like it's frozen to the vehicle. And a lot of times that comes about because when you do the oil change, there's a rubber gasket around the oil can. That gasket, before you screw that new filter on, you need to take a little bit of oil and wipe it around that gasket, that rubber gasket. That keeps that gasket from drying out. And when it dries out, it sticks to the vehicle. There's corrosion that gets in there, and it causes it to stick to the vehicle. So by putting oil around the filter, it allows it to have some lubrication so that it doesn't stick. And when you get that problem, you want to have a wrench like this to be able to remove that stuck oil filter. So that's the third thing that I recommend from Harbor Freight for DIY oil changes. The next thing that I recommend is these 3-piece 3/8-inch drive oil filter sockets, and they're for domestic, European, and Asian vehicles. And there's 3 different ones, so they fit different types of vehicles, oil filters. And these sockets are good because these will just mount up under the bottom of the oil filter, and then you can just use your ratchet, and anytime you get a stuck oil filter or one that's, not so easy to come off, you can just ratchet them off with an preferably with 3/8 wrench with an extension on there. Usually is what you'll need to get, in when you're in a tight spot. And this helps a lot because it allows you the mobility of being able to get into certain tight spots. And when you can't get into it a certain way, you can use a wobble socket, which will, help to move the wrench in a certain way to allow you to get to these oil filters that are sometimes in awkward places on certain vehicles. I don't know who designed some of these vehicles where they put certain parts where it seems like they just make it so that it's more difficult for you to work on the car. But this is another product that I recommend. And the last product that I recommend, guys, is this 18-inch long black funnel. It's simple. It's a funnel, but it's an 18-inch funnel, which is a long funnel, which gives you more room to work with when it comes to, changing the oil. Gives you the ability to be higher up off of the vehicle when you're pouring your new oil into the vehicle. Oh, one thing, guys, I just thought about. I have a new website. It is called A8Fix.com. That's A, the letter A, the letter Y, the number 8, and then the word fix, Fix.com. So that's A8Fix.com. And all of my reviews and everything that's on my channel, I am transferring a lot of stuff to that site. So it'll be on the site and it'll be still on here on YouTube, but I'm building a website based off of the things that I do, and I want you guys to support that. Check that out. So A8Fix.com, check out my website, and thank you for watching my video. Please subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers as quickly as possible. It seems like some people I don't understand why thousands, I get maybe 1,000, close to 1,000 views a day, but I barely get 1 or 2 subscribers in a day. So it's my videos are being watched a lot, but my subscriber base is barely moving, and it's just not keeping up with the amount of views that I'm getting from these videos. So it's hard for me to understand. It's frustrating, but it is what it is. Some people think that they're going to have to give me their firstborn child if they subscribe. So I don't know what the deal is. But anyway, this is A8. Support the channel. Support me on Patreon. Check the link for descriptions. If you order something, I get a commission if you order through Amazon, through the links in the descriptions. There's many ways to support me. Check out my website, everything. Thank you for your time. See you on the next video.